Can God's will override our will for our lives? Do we have a choice? And it says, example, Jonah.
Example, Jonah. An excellent example, I would say. Yeah, so can God's will override our will for our lives? The very simple, easy answer is, duh. You know, God's all-powerful and in charge of everything. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and he can force us to do things in all different kinds of ways. Bruce Almighty is a very interesting movie in the way that God kind of pushes Bruce Almighty to do these things in a particular direction. Now, it's a comical version. There's some bad theology in there, but that part is very, very fascinating and interesting and likable. Jonah's another great thing. Like, Jonah goes that way. God wants him to go that way. I'll send a storm and a fish, and I'll vomit you out until you go the right direction. So God has very interesting ways of weaving our lives together. And I think sometimes God is subtly weaving our lives together with little prompts and pokes and things that get us in the right place at the right time we may not even find out about until eternity. If God wants to impose his will on us, he certainly can. Now, I think most of the time, God gives us a broad freedom of choice. That what we choose, he gives us a free will, he gives us his spirit, he gives us a mind to think about things. And most of the time, most of our choices are not dictated by what we have to do. God gives us the freedom to do those things. But the question is, can God's will override our will for our lives? 100%. God can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants.